Friends, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us worship body, mind, and spirit. Glad you're all here. If you're a visitor with us today, we have some pew cards. One is for prayer. That's for anyone. You can fill out a prayer and put it in the offering plate. And then the other's for our visitors to give us some contact information. Thank you. Number of announcements. A lot of things happening. Check out your bulletin for Coldest Night if you haven't volunteered to walk yet. Please volunteer to walk. If you haven't given to any of the walkers yet, please consider giving to one of the walkers. We're raising funds for REACH. The annual meeting is February 25th. The annual reports are ready right off the presses, and they're in this area right here. So you pick up one for your family and take it home and read it if you would like. I don't have permission to tell you that it was Ivan's birthday, but I'm sorry I didn't get your permission. Ivan had a birthday. Happy birthday, dear Ivan. Happy birthday to you. Amen. Our play rehearsal begins right after worship today. And there are donuts in there for those who want to have fellowship that are not part of the play. They're in the Burnham room. So we're not kicking you out of the building, but we may kick you out of the chapel. But please stay and do fellowship in the Burnham room. And let us continue our worship as we enjoy the prelude. Before we do the call to worship, I'll let you know that Holly's working very hard to get the screens working. So if you don't have a bulletin, you might want to grab one because we may not have the words up there. Breath of God, you are the one in whom we live and move and have our being. We are the ones in whom you live and move and have your being, for you made us in your image and likeness. May your unifying energy be felt here among us and rekindle the fire within that makes us feel alive when we care for others. Let us draw from the well of living water and be attentive to that which needs nourishing in ourselves and in our world. Come, let us worship where all are welcome in the house of God and find safe haven in the heart of the divine. Join in a song with sweet accord, and thus around the throne. Let those refuse to sing, who never knew our God, but children of the heavenly King should speak their joys abroad. The men of grace have found glory begun below. Celestial fruits on earthly ground from faith and hope may grow. The hill of Zion yields 1,000 sacred sweets. Before we reach the heavenly fields, or walk the golden streets, and let our songs abound, and every tear be dry. We're marching through Emmanuel's front. Amen. Please be seated. I invite you to join with me on our prayer of hope. Blessed be the works of your hands, O Holy One. Blessed be these hands that have touched life. Blessed be these hands that have nurtured creativity. Blessed be these hands that have held pain. Blessed be these hands that have embraced with passion. Blessed be these hands that have tended gardens. Blessed be these hands that have closed in anger. Blessed be these hands that have planted new seeds. Blessed be these hands that have harvested ripe fields. Hands that have cleaned, washed, mopped, scrubbed. Blessed be these hands that have become knotty with age. Blessed be these hands that are wrinkled and scarred from doing justice. Blessed be these hands that hold the promise of the future. Blessed be the works of your hands, O Holy One. Amen. Take me as I am. Summon out what I shall be. Set your seal upon my heart and live in me.
This morning's first scripture is Isaiah chapter 40, verses 28 through 31. Have you not known? Have you not heard? The Holy One is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth, who does not faint or grow weary, whose understanding is unsearchable, who gives power to the faint and strengthens the powerless. Even youths will faint and be weary, and the young will fall exhausted. But those who wait for the Holy One shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Listen to what the Spirit is teaching. Thanks be to God.
Invite the children to come forward. Tell you a story. It's about a dog named Mogi. Can y'all say Mogi? Maybe it's Moji. Mogie. Moji. So Moji was born in a litter of like 9 other puppies. 9. Could you imagine having 9 siblings the same age? Or 8? Well, Moji seemed to be the runt of the crowd, meaning the other ones hung out together, they played together, and Moji was always kind of by himself. Well, when people started adopting these doggies, they noticed that Moji was kind of lackluster, and they didn't adopt him. It's kind of sad. But Moji found a home. He found a home where he could help people. There was this young boy named Greg who was very active, kind of like you all. Lots of energy. He sang and he played sports. He was good in school. He was interesting. And then one day he slipped and fell and hurt himself, just like Mr. Byron, who is equally gregarious and athletic. Couldn't run anymore. So he got really, really sad. Just where Moji comes in. Moji was in the house where he was doing rehab, and Moji went up to him and licked him in the face. And you know what? That cheered him up a little bit. And then Moji went and got a tennis ball and brought it to him. You know what he did with the tennis ball? The little boy? He should have thrown it, but he was in a depressed mood.
He picked it up with his mouth?
No, he didn't pick it up with his mouth. The little boy didn't throw it, so Moji picked it up and ran across the room, threw it for himself, and then brought it back to the little boy. He didn't do it again. Why aren't you in a better mood? So the dog, Moji, did it again. This time, the boy threw the ball. And they became best friends. And they were at a Ronald McDonald House, which focused on rehab for children. Now, in the next couple of months, I'm going to ask you guys to help me cheer up some children in DC.